Not all forms of charisma are teachable, but here's how to have the type that you can't fake in only 3 steps. Whoa, 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 whoa. Charisma is not a teachable thing. You either have it or you don't. I hear you. I understand what you're saying. I said, not all forms of charisma are teachable, but here's a kind you can master in 3 steps. So I don't know what you've been trying before or what you've been doing, but here's how you can do it. Now, just come back to this camera here. This is where the learning happens, okay? I don't know if you've ever had this situation. You have a competitor. You're looking at a speaker on stage, somebody on camera, or you're in a meeting and somebody starts speaking and you say to yourself, man, it's not fair. That person has charisma. What do you want me to do? It's not fair. Like, if you're saying to yourself, I don't have it and they have it, boy, is that video for you. I just so wished somebody could have taken me aside and explained that to me in full, nothing held back, in full context, so I could finally understand. So I get the objection. I get the it's not teachable thing. For those of you, if you don't know, if you just met me, I used to be a chronic stutterer. No sound would come out of my face. Okay? So I get the shyness. I get the not being able to. I get the, well, it's not fair because they're up there on stage and I'm here in the crowd. I get that. I overcame the stuttering, created a new speaking system now used by international keynote speakers, TV hosts, and national trainers. We've had clients make 6-figure days, others replace their yearly income in 20 minutes, okay, from the stage. So confidence, let's get back to this camera, because this is where you learn. You learn on this here. So the goal is to get to that camera. And from here, the goal is to take what you learn, get out there, kick butt, take names, make more money when you speak, and eventually, with marketing systems and automation, make more money when you sleep. So let's get started. By the way, my name is Sly. My real name is in French, Sylvain Haché. I help you here transform yourself and your message so you can transform others and your bank account. So the way this works, basically, the charisma formula, you need to understand that confidence is a prerequisite, not the type, not fake confidence, not puffing your chest up, not jumping up and down, baseline, real, honest to God confidence, okay? We'll go over that. So confidence is a prerequisite to charisma, which is a stepping stone to presence. So that's why you see, that's why people suffer so much with speaking. They go on LinkedIn leading, they just read listicles. You know, these little like bullet points of articles, or like these little slides that they slide through. They're gonna get power posing, and then some article said that if you breathe a certain way, you're gonna be confident. The problem is they start with a baseline presupposition, fact of life. I'm not confident. Then I'm gonna go read a book, read a listicle on LinkedIn. I'm gonna do a trick. I'm gonna do something like an additive process. I'm gonna take something, I'm gonna put it inside me, then I'm gonna have confidence. That's so dangerous. Confidence, real confidence, is a removal process. It's removing what makes you unconfident to begin with. You need to start by realizing your natural state is confidence. You're naturally confident as a baby. Then somewhere along the line, it gets knocked out of you, kicked out of you. Okay, I get it. I've been bullied, beaten. Somebody tried to, I have a scar here from a knife attack. Okay, I get it. Beaten, bullied, I stuttered for years. I get it. The removal of the stuff that makes you crooked and bent inside, that you have to kind of hide and try to manipulate and try to fish for compliments, and is Bob like in my talk, and all that type of stuff internally, is what, at the confidence level, is what messes up your messaging. So that's why we start with confidence before messaging. So just get back here, okay? So if someone starts to write a message, you have to go speak on stage, you have to make a presentation, you have to speak in a meeting, you have to prepare a message of some sort. If you're preparing the message in an unconfident state, shy, terrified, wanting to be liked, fishing for compliment, this infuses your message with weakness. So there's no way you can write a message or craft it in a weak state and then have it performed brilliantly on stage later. So if you're familiar with Don Quixote, so Don Quixote is like an imaginary knight fighting imaginary dragons. So he can never win because the dragons he's fighting are in his head only. So if somebody's secretly shy, secretly terrified, and prepares a message to be delivered, it kills your sales. It kills the buy-in. It kills everything good that's supposed to come out of speaking, for God's sake. Speaking is the ultimate leverage for your business and for your life. So by taking 20 minutes, 15 minutes, or 3 days, if it's a really bad case, to remove what makes you unconfident to begin with, number one, 80% of all public speaking problems go away at once. All the ums, the ahs, and all that type of stuff, and wondering what to say, forgetting your name, forgetting your lines, goes away. Because in truth, you're either fearful or you're thinking. If you're in a fearful state, it's hard to think. Your blood becomes molasses to avoid bleeding to death because you're fighting an imaginary tiger in your mind. But thick blood, molasses blood, doesn't think fast in the brain. So step one is to get clear, get calm. To give you an idea of how, if baseline confidence is off, how it affects everything else. I was a kid in New Brunswick. Once a year, yeah, there's a place where there's like a triple waterfall. So a pool of water, waterfall, pool, waterfall. And some idiot every year had to go put dishwashing soap in the first pool. So this would come in here, this one would turn into a bubble bath, and this one into a bubble bath. So no matter what you do at that pool, doesn't matter. You can't remove the bubbles as long as they keep on putting some water up there, soap in there. Same thing. So everything you do upstream influences everything else downstream. So here's the formula, the charisma formula. It's baseline confidence, we'll go over that, multiplied by your charismatic message, we'll go over that, multiplied by your embodiment of greater than yourself ideas. That's right. The type of charisma that is teachable and that you cannot fake is the one where you start with regular confidence, okay, which you can have. It's a removal process. You multiply that with charismatic messages. We'll show you here. We'll talk about this at length on the channel, how to put your stories together, what stories to tell, how to choose what's good for the audience and not, and your embodiment of a greater than yourself idea. If the only reason you're making a call to action is because you have a car payment to make, there's no charisma there. The audience does not care about your car payment. Okay. If you tie your offer, if you tie your call to action or your ask to greater than yourself ideas that the audience can feel the pressure of the moment, the weight of the moment on the message, your conversion rates go up dramatically. And you end up making, you can even buy a second car if you like. But the thing is, if the reason you're making the call to action is based on you, like I need this, I need that, you're repelling the audience. Okay, so here's the formula. Baseline confidence, you get a scale from 1 to 10. So 10 out of 10 of confidence is a rock star. An amazing speaker, a rock star, somebody you see on stage like fully confident, okay? 1 out of 10, which I started like at -5, -6, -10 maybe, is a chronic stutterer. So at 1 is like a regular terrified person. A regular shy, terrified person is like a 1. You got no confidence at all. Then above that, you have employee of the month confidence. This is dangerous. This one we start talking about false confidence because this one is inflated by pride. So when you're inflated by pride with your confidence, anybody gives you just any type of smug look or just rolls their eye a certain way, then you feel like you have to battle for it. It's dangerous on stage. Very, very dangerous on stage. Once you get past employee of the month confidence, then you get to executive of the year confidence. Executive of the year confidence is amazing because at that level, you don't have to prove anything. Your track record speaks for itself. Nothing to prove. But the thing is, at that level, there's no magic yet. It's almost like journalistic presence. It's not like you can stop time. It's not like, if you've probably seen this, you've seen transformational speakers. I teach. We have a thing called the Transformational Speaking Academy. So we teach how to stop time, create magical moments to increase your conversion rate, have people feel things, not just deliver information, but provide transformation. Like, you can't do this at that level. So there's kind of a gap here, and at the top we have what we call rockstar speakers. So the removal of baseline confidence. If you're terrified of speaking, I don't go into the techniques in this video. We have a free trial on our website. It's a 14-day process to remove all that. I've personally helped people from 18 to 81 years old get over stage fright. And I know some governments are going crazy right now. Maybe your currency is being devalued. Maybe you're in a bad financial slump. You do not have to suffer from unconfidence. If you stay stuck in, oh, I know I should be making videos to grow my business, but I'm terrified. I know I should be speaking at the national convention of my industry, but I'm terrified. You cannot afford to let unconfidence rob you of your profits, your greatness, your presence, your status, and your power. It's a free trial. Click the link somewhere in the description. Do what you can. Nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. Start a free trial. It will take care of the baseline confidence for you. The whole thing, okay? So you just got to move on here. You get a 1 out of 10 number. You multiply that by your charismatic message. So a charismatic message, if you multiply 10, you're confident, but you have a 0.1 message, your score actually goes down. That's if you're talking about stuff that people don't care about. People like the audience actually want. Or you get a 10 out of 10, so you multiply your power. Get to the point. I hear you. Get to the point. You're yapping. I know you just want the charisma part. You don't care about the prerequisites. I got you. Here's where this comes from and how I know it works for you and for clients and for everybody that I've taught it to. Let's go to that camera. You'll understand better on that camera. So a few years ago, my girlfriend and I, we had a duo called Duo Charismatic in French. We have songs on the radio, we play music. Then we have our demo. We sent it to the booker to book us, and he says, "Are you guys playing religious music?" Now I'm thinking, the name of the band is Duo Charismatic. Why do you inquire if we do religious music? He says, well, there's a thing called charismatic priests, and often that's associated with religion. I said, no, we're just playing like top 40 stuff, I don't know where that comes. So there was this one track. On a separate track, one of my mentors, the crazy French shaman, told me about a lady back in the pre-Google days that used to go around pissing priests off because she was saying, hey, wait a minute. If you're connected to God, it shows, like gurus or saints or like there's a glow to somebody who's connected to God. And how can you be a priest? You're not connected to God. How can you be a priest? You're not. So she could see it. She was pissing people off. So you take all that together, and the principle of charisma is the embodiment of greater than yourself ideas. As soon as you have a greater than yourself idea, in the case of priests, God, but for you it could be love, compassion, it could be status, it could be profits, it could be growth, it could be understanding, compassion. We've done it with so many different things at this point. It's the thing that your market already wants. So if you want people to buy your stuff and that crowd already wants status, when you tie your stuff, your offer, your thing you sell, your ask to how this will increase their status, you're good to go because you don't have to motivate, convince, maybe even persuade a little bit, but you don't have to twist their arm at all. They already want the thing. It's already in their psyche. They want that regardless of you. So when you start with baseline confidence and you have a message that aligns, charismatic message, that aligns with the pre-existing desires of the audience. They already want that before they even met you. And you just make the message, it's called message to market match. When you have that properly, now you can multiply your 10 out of 10 confidence multiplied by your 10 out of 10 charismatic message. Now, where this is bad, where it gets horrible, is that you can go negative on that thing. We'll talk about negative charisma in a second, but you can go negative on that thing. That's where, if you're speaking to a crowd of vegan monks, you can be confident about your protein intake message, okay? About how many proteins per sit down you can handle, your body can handle, and maximize that. You can have the best message in the world with the best proof and the stats and the studies and the whole thing, but you're speaking to a crowd of vegan monks about eating steak. So the more better you are, the more you repulse them. It's reverse charisma. Okay? But how do you do that? How do you structure your message to do that? I know, I can hear you. I've done this before. I know what you're thinking. How do I do it? But how do I do it? Let me just get back to this camera. I'll just show you real quick. The principle is you ask yourself a few questions. Okay? If you've seen me do this live often, I don't do talks anymore. I'm a speaking coach, but I don't do talks. Why would I do that? Because there has to be 10,000 great speaker coaches. There has to be 10,000 of them. So how am I going to differentiate myself? I don't talk about the stuff. I go and I do the stuff. So if you invite me to speak to your audience, a lot of times I just show up and people raise their hands, random people from the audience, and I create their own talk on the spot, their charismatic messages. And it starts with, who are you speaking to? Step one in creating any message, who you're speaking to is more important than what you say. Number one, okay? And then these people you're speaking to, what do you want them to do? You want them to buy your coaching program? You want them to lease your yacht? What do you want them to do? Like, what are you pitching? What's the ask? What's the call to action? Do you want them to vote, click, swipe, download, install your app? What do you want them to do? Okay, if they do that, what will that give them? It's going to give them this, that, the other thing. And then we figure out the big payoff, the big thing that they already want. Now, if you can't match what your thing will give them to who they already are, you're screwed. Stop it. Don't write a word. Don't buy a new dress to go do the talk. Don't work on your logo. Stop what you're doing. Figure out what the thing you have will give them and how that fits with what they already want. That's how you get effortless influence and subconscious rapport, by the way. We'll probably be talking about this on the channel. Anyway, once you got that, you ask yourself, okay, if that payoff, you embody that payoff. We have processes, hypnosis tools, and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, you embody that payoff and you ask yourself, okay, what does that payoff want the audience to do? Regardless of you, the speaker, the person doing the selling. So you're not thinking, well, I want them to buy because I got a car payment to make. No. If they buy your thing, they're going to get status. They're going to get ahead in life. They're going to get something that they already want. Okay, that thing, that status. What does status want the audience to do? I never asked myself that. I know you never asked yourself that. That's because you never had a charismatic message built for you before. So once you know what status wants them to do, fill in the blank. Okay, now what you do, come back here. Now this is where we come in with the collaborative close. Your whole talk, your whole webinar, your presentation, your masterclass, your challenge, whatever the thing is you have a consultant's model, collaborative close, one to many. Think about as a consultant, I have your best interests at heart. Let's figure out the problems. How is it not that already? What's worked in the past? Why is it not like that? Let's figure out the problems together, side by side. Think of, like, I work with people in marketing on a pay per results basis. So if I'm working with you, I want you to succeed because I'm paid on a percentage of the upside of the marketing systems I build for you. So collaborative, same team. So when you embody the greater than yourself thing in your charismatic message, you side on the side of the audience as to why they're not doing the damn thing that this greater than yourself thing and the thing that they already want, why they're not doing that. That's called objection handling, okay? And then you chunk these objections into categories of objection. So you have never more than 3 to handle. So you basically, you start your talk, you know you got an identity shift to create in the audience. That's the main thing. They're going to go from that identity to that. You want to empower them to make the decision. And there's 3 big obstacles standing in the way. And these obstacles you will annihilate and destroy with stories and money shots and demonstrations and stats and quotes and a bunch of other devices, but chunked in a way where it's easy for you to tell them. So if you take your baseline confidence and you multiply it by a charismatic message that talks about how they can get what they already want, and your stories naturally bust the objections, you have an easy time to deliver, and they feel that you're talking to them about what they want the whole time because you are. So that would be a 10 out of 10. Or the opposite of that, you're speaking to vegan monks about protein intake. All right? So multiply this by a few different things. The embodiment of greater than. This is why you see this. Okay? I see people suffer with that so much all the time. I tried making a webinar, it didn't work. It didn't work. I followed the formula to a T, it didn't work. I tried the whole thing, it did not work. Okay. This is where the embodiment of whatever you're talking about needs to follow. Walk the talk. Okay, so check this out. I'm a musician. I'm in the studio with my manager, the producer and manager. And he asked me, so how's the public speaking thing going along? I said, it's going great. But I see a lot of people, they make the mistake of focusing on words. So like they learn word tracks like in sales, and they try to memorize scripts, or they try to memorize like magic words, magic formulas. Some of them even get trained in body language. They learn to smile after their sentences, or they learn to do some certain things with their hands. Some of them even go as far as learning NLP anchoring. Ooh, watch out, okay? So they learn all these tricks, but then they get on stage, but then like the feeling's off. Have you ever watched a speaker? The guy says, or the gal says all the right words. I mean, the pin on their suit matches the logo on the slides. I mean, everything is just slick, but for some reason, you can't get yourself to believe him. It's like something's off. A lot of people try to spend time trying to hack trust. They try to hack authentic, like the classic politicians joke. A young politician asks the veteran, "Hey, so what's the secret to influence?" And then the grizzled politician says, "Oh man, I mean, it's all about authenticity, integrity, and honesty. I mean, once you can fake those, I mean, the sky's the limit." Okay, the people go, they try to do a bunch of stuff, but if you just spend an ounce of actually being the thing. In French, we say, les babines suivent les bottines. This walk the talk. An ounce of that goes such a long way. So I came up with an analogy, a musical analogy, to explain to him the problem in public speaking. So when we make up a song in the studio, the first thing we establish is tempo, groove, style. What's the time feel? Is it, or is it like the time feel, the groove, all these elements? We don't worry about the words and what they say and how they're dressed on the damn photo shoot for the album. What's the groove, the tempo, the foundational elements, the stuff that people don't even register? It's under the radar. There's this thing that there's overt skills and covert skills. These are the number one things. Same thing in public speaking. If you start with the words of the song, but the groove is off, that's the problem. So people think, oh, if I find the right words, but then they're not confident. So that's somebody here talking about, think of a longevity expert. So you're very confident in your longevitism, and then you have the greatest talk in the world about longevitism, but then you have crack cocaine, Eggo waffles, and I don't know, Jack Daniels for breakfast. Good Lord. See, so the things you're doing during the day or the things you're thinking at night erodes your confidence. So that's why when you get to the pitch and you say, buy my longevity thing 3000, the tone is off, the underlying groove is off. So here's the best analogy you can watch in a few seconds to get it right away. So here's Beyonce with the perfect groove to message match. Take a look at that. So that's the groove. You got the groove cooking, and then they got the move that she's doing is kind of like the word. She's not singing, but the move that she's doing. So now let's have her do the same moves, a different video. Beyonce doing the same moves, still on the same tempo. So you're going to keep the tempo different, the same tempo, but the groove is going to shift. So you're going to see that she's still dancing on the beat. She's still doing all the right moves at the right time. She's following the script, following the formula, doing everything at the right time, but the underlying groove is off. See if you can spot the difference.
First, I gotta read you.
Now I know it's subtle, but did you catch it? Did you get the subtleties of when the underlying groove is off? When you talk about something that you're not, when the walk doesn't follow the talk, that's what's going on. Even if you follow the steps, even if you say everything in the right word, even if she said everything, but I couldn't get myself to believe her, that's what's cooking. Good looking. Come on that side. Okay, on that side. So in a nutshell, that is the charisma formula. If we put it this way, it comes down to having what it takes at the gut level to handle the weight of the message screaming out to come of your chest with a straight face. That's essentially what we're talking about. If, like, there's a thing that says great speakers have gravitas. Gravitas comes from gravity, like weight, heaviness, pressure. So if we know in advance that the messenger does not have what it takes, gut level, to handle the weight of that message, there's no use working on the delivery of that message. Think about it. A bad song, a message, okay, a bad message, a bad song, sung by a great singer with all the chops and the whole thing, is still a bad song. So there's no use working on the delivery of a message, a song, if the message or the song is bad to begin with. Okay? So that's why this is last in the formula. But a great song, an amazing song, a great message, delivered by an okay singer, still a great song. I mean, Bob Dylan had a singing career. Come on, okay? If Bob Dylan had a singing career, you with a great message can have a great speaking career as long as you have baseline confidence. So that's why these steps are in that order, and that's why we teach in that way inside the academy. You're not allowed to open your mouth before you're confident. At least like a 7 out of 10. And we have the tools, tactics, strategies, supports, and system to get you there fast, even with a free trial. If you don't have any money and your government's going crazy and they're doing stupid things with money and your currency is being devalued, we got you, okay? So basically, there's no use working on the delivery of a message if the message is weak to begin with, but there's no use working on the damn message if we know that the messenger does not have what it takes at the gut level to handle the weight of the message screaming out of your chest with a straight face. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, talking about this with your friends. Hey, I saw this weird guy on YouTube. He's talking about you have to be confident before you speak rather than speak until you kind of get confident. It's kind of a flipped outside version, but apparently he's got great results, so you might want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I've been Sly with the Transformational Speaking Academy, and for more information, go to nextlevelpublicspeaking.com. We'd be happy to help you with your speaking journey. Enjoy.